Hey guys, welcome back, welcome to my channel. I'm Morgan and today I'm going to be doing a March 2024 reading wrap up. As you can see, I'm in a new little setup. I got this egg chair for my birthday. So if you want to see my 17th birthday video, that'll be my last video by the time this is uploaded, and I did a little haul of everything I got. So if you watch that, you already know I got this, but yeah, I love it so much. It's gonna be going outside, but for now it's inside because the weather isn't the best. I think we might bring it outside today though because it is pretty nice out today. Yeah, for right now it's just inside. So I thought I'd film in it because I thought it was a cute little cozy setup to talk about the books I read in March. Yeah, I read some pretty great books and then some pretty not so great books, but I don't have any of the books physically with me because if you've watched my videos before, you already know this, but I don't buy books. I get them out at the library or off Kindle, but I don't have Kindle Unlimited. But in March, my mom did a Kindle Unlimited free trial for a month. So I read a lot of my anticipated reads, I guess you could call it, or a lot of my books that I've been wanting to read for so long that my library just doesn't have or is always taken out, and I could read so many of them on Kindle Unlimited because they're all just available. And oh my gosh, I read so many books that I've been wanting to read for so long. So it was a really good reading month of getting to finally read so many books, but some of them were really good and then some of them weren't so good. So let's just get into it. Really wish I had Kindle Unlimited forever. It had so many books, but I did actually read a lot of books. In March, I read 11 books, which is the most I've read, I think, so far, any month this year. So definitely got my use out of Kindle Unlimited, so I'm glad about that. I wish I had it back because there were still so many other books on there that I would have read. And it's not that I can never read them. I can probably, they're probably at my library, but it just takes so long, especially when they're super popular books, because everyone already has them requested and everything. So it's not that I can never get them. I can still get books from the Kindle and from my library, but it's not the same. It's so easy with the Kindle Unlimited. But anyway, let's go back to actually talking about the books that I read. So first book I read in March 2024 was Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, and this is the second book in the Hunger Games series. I read the first Hunger Games book back in February, and yeah, so I read the second one last month. Well, I'm filming this in April, so it was technically last month. Gave this book 4 to 5 stars. I really liked it, but I liked the first book better, slightly better, but not drastically better. I still loved the second one. It was so good. I feel I've heard most people who the second one better than the first one. I don't know, I like the first one, the OG one was my favorite, but well, so far I haven't finished the series, but the second one was still so good. I'm not gonna say anything what it's about because when I read series, I don't like talking about, I don't want to tell you guys what any of the books are about if it's not the first one in the series, because then I feel I'm spoiling things. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but you probably have heard of the Hunger Games anyway. But yeah, I definitely recommend the Hunger Games series. Just really good series. And yeah, the second book was still so good. They also just put all of the movies on Netflix. I'm so excited. I want to watch them so bad. I've seen them, parts of them, but it's been years and I just never really sat down and fully just watched them through, especially after reading the books. I just want to watch them so bad. Anyway, second book I read in March was Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I don't know, I've heard so many good things about this book. I feel like this month I have read so many super popular books that I was so excited about, and a lot of them just did not live up to the hype. I feel for me, I feel I've heard so many good things about this book, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't amazing in my opinion. I didn't love the main characters. It's about Julian and Dahlia. So I'm pretty sure they grew up in the same town, but then Dahlia moved away for college, I guess, and then she's going through this really bad divorce, I'm pretty sure, or a broken engagement. So she goes back to her childhood home where Julian still lives in that area, and they bump into each other, of course. He's like a billionaire now. They're both into like designing homes and like redesigning homes and just like real estate type stuff. So work on this project together and things happen. They have past history with like some interactions, you know. Things are like brought back up. They're like rivals, I guess, like childhood rivals. They've always just like been very competitive with each other. So I don't know. I feel like that was a bad explanation, but it wasn't bad. Like 3 stars is still a great rating. Like I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like my favorite. Oh, I remember. It was because Julian, like the main guy character, he felt so obsessive to me. Like he just felt like always on top of Dahlia and like needed to know where she was, what she was doing at all times, and that just felt really possessive and like a little obsessive to me. So I was a little like, whoa, like let her breathe. But I did enjoy like the whole interior design aspect and everything. It just was not my favorite. So 3 stars is still good. But the next book I read was The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and oh my gosh, this book was so good. I've heard Destiny Sidwell and Sarah Crowley talk about it on their podcast, and I've been wanting to read it for so long, and I saw it on the Kindle Unlimited and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read this. 5 stars. It was amazing. I loved the whole thriller. Like, it's one of the best thrillers I feel like I've ever read, or like best like whodunit mystery type book. Like I really was not expecting anything in this book, and I loved it so much. I don't know why. So it's basically about this program in the FBI that selects like natural people who have natural abilities for investigating. Cassie is like the main character. She is really good at reading people. She's like a natural at it. She meets all the other kids in the program who are just like her kind of, but they all have like a different unique type of ability. So a new killer strikes, and then they have to kind of investigate everything that's happening, and everyone in the program, it's just like different like things are coming up, and it's like nobody really is how they seem. It's really good. I loved that book so much. There's more in the series, I'm pretty sure. So I'm very excited to continue reading it because it was amazing. Oh my gosh, this next book. I read Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. 5 stars. 5 stars. Oh my gosh. I've been wanting to read this book forever. It was so good. It did not disappoint at all. As I said, some of the books that I like been wanting to read disappointed, but this one did not disappoint. This is a whole series. Like there's so many books out, and apparently I think another one's like coming out this month. I need to keep reading these because it was so cute. Okay, so it's about Johnny and Shannon, and after years of being bullied, Shannon moves to a new school, Common High School, and on her first day of school she's hit in the head with like a ball, and it turns out it's somebody on the rugby team. Johnny is like a rugby player, he's a rugby star, he's devoted his life to it, and unfortunately he has like an injury, but he's been kind of like neglecting it. Yeah, when he meets Shannon, his whole life just changes, and the whole book is just amazing. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Next book I read was The Push by Ashley Aldrain. Also, sorry if I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad. I have all the books laid out and kind of like a mini synopsis of them. This book I gave 4 to 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and it's very like different than any book I've ever read. It's very unique, but definitely was engaging and kept me wanting to read it. It's a psychological drama about a woman who's experiencing motherhood, and it's not at all what she like had expected it to be like, and there's lots of generational like trauma that weave into the whole thing. Blythe is the main character, and she wants to be like a very warm, caring mother because she never had that. Like her mother was never that way towards her. But when her daughter Violet is born, she fears that there's something wrong with her, and her husband kind of like manipulates her and like convinces her that there isn't. Then Blythe gives birth to a second child who turns out to be like what she'd always hoped for, and then things just happen. It's crazy. It's really crazy, but it's really good. There's a lot that goes on in this book. Very, very intriguing. Like it definitely kept me wanting to keep reading. So I highly recommend if you like suspenseful, psychological thriller type books. It's a really good one. All right, this next book. So my friend had this book and she wanted me to read it because she did not like it at all and she wanted to see what I would think of it. I don't know. Okay, so this might come out really harsh because I know this book, a lot of people do like it, and I'm not judging you if you like it, but just was not for me at all. Not at all. It's called Twisted Love. It's by Anna Huang. It's a whole series, and it's just it's a lot. Not personally for me. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars. Sorry if that's harsh, but I just don't know how this is a romance book. It just, I know what it is, but I just didn't get romance vibes from it. It was not enjoyable for me. It's about Ava and Alex. Alex is very ruthless and emotionless, and Ava on the other hand is very a free spirit and happy and lovey, whatever. But they both have a very dark past that nobody really knows about, I guess. And Ava's brother is best friends with Alex, but her brother is moving away for some sort of program or something he's going to. So he wants Alex to look over Ava, watch her, make sure she's safe. But things just progress, and it's just I can't even talk about it because it was just, if you like dark romance, I guess it's for you, but it was just not for me. Moving on. This book, oh my gosh, this next book was also amazing. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I finally got it on Kindle Unlimited. It was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Another 5-star book. Oh my gosh, this book was so cute. So cute. One of the cutest books. It was so adorable. It's about these 2 characters. They're both journalists, Iris and Roman, and they're both vying for a promotion at their job. They're competing for it. However, there's currently a war going on between these two gods that have been asleep for centuries, but they're coming back and fighting now. And Iris's brother goes to fight in the war, and Iris starts writing these letters to her brother in the war, and she puts them in her wardrobe and they disappear. So she just assumes the magic is bringing them to her brother. Little does she know, they're actually going to Roman, her rival, at the journalist place. Yeah, things happen. I don't want to spoil anything, but I loved, this book was just so cute. If you like letters and very it was just poetic, very sentimental, and I loved it. So very, very cute. Highly recommend. There's more in the series that I cannot wait to read. Next book, this was a very anticipated read as well that I finally got to read, and it was Addicted to You by Krista and Becky Ritchie. Now, this book was good, but it wasn't everything I hoped, I guess. I don't know, I feel I've heard so many things about it, and I had such high expectations. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't love it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's about these 2 addicts, Lily, who's addicted to sex, and then Lauren, who's addicted to alcohol. They both help each other kind of maintain their addictions, and they pretend to be in a relationship for years and years, and they hide their addictions from their families. They start working on themselves, I guess, and coming to terms with different things, and they realize things about themselves. A lot happens, but overall it was this pretty solid book. There's more in the series also I haven't read, but I think it'll get better as the series goes on. I think they're gonna start hopefully healing themselves, trying to work through their addictions, hopefully, throughout the series, I'm guessing, hopefully, I don't know. I've heard that, the series gets better as it goes, I think, so I don't know. But I gave this one a 3 stars. It was fine. Hopefully there's more character growth in the next one. Next book I read, this was another super anticipated read. I read Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is part of the Chestnut Spring series. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. It was very cute. It wasn't my favorite. Again, I feel I just had too high of expectations, but a 4 stars is so good. It was still so good, and it was very, very cute. It's about Rhett Eaton, who is a professional bull rider, and he just lost a sponsor because he messed up his image by I don't know, he just messed up. He did something that the public just did not respond well to. His manager is Kip Hamilton, which he tells him that he needs a babysitter to watch over him so that he doesn't make another mistake. So he hires his daughter, Summer, to kind of like watch over Rhett, make sure he doesn't do anything wrong. So Summer just finished law school, so she needs to like learn the ropes of like being a lawyer, I guess, and just like working in that industry. So it's like the perfect opportunity for her to do that, apparently. I don't know. Yeah, Summer and Rhett meet. They kind of like get off to not so great of a start, but as they get to know each other, things progress, and it's a very cute book. I did enjoy it a lot. I liked the plot. There was lots of, I feel like the subplot, like not the romance part, like the actual plot was very enjoyable, and the romance was enjoyable too, but the plot itself was really good. Yeah, it was a very well written book. Next book I read was Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. This was also a 4 out of 5 stars book. I really like this book. I feel like this book, I don't know, like I feel like not that many people like love it, and I do see why. Like there are some tropes in here and like things like that people did that I do not condone, I don't support, but overall, I don't know, I think it was just like the book I needed, because I was like, when I was reading it, it was super nice out, and this book was giving like summery vibes, so it was just like, it was just fitting the vibe. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It was giving Outer Banks vibes, definitely, like the TV show. It's about Mackenzie Cabot, who's a people pleaser because her parents want to kind of like maintain a good status, and then there's also Cooper Hartley, who is more like rough around the edges. That's what Goodreads says. Kenzie has been dating someone named Preston for years, who also has rich parents, who also want to maintain their like good image and everything. But once Mackenzie goes to college, she starts to realize she's maybe not as happy as she thought she was, and she meets like her roommate, and then she meets Cooper, and things happen. But I always say that, I'm like, things happen, but I don't want to spoil anything, so sorry. Overall, it was a very fun book to read. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know. Again, I think like the whole setting, like that it was so nice out when I was reading this, just like really helped. Last book of March, I read The Teacher by Frida McFadden. This book was so good. Oh my gosh, 5 stars. This book was actually crazy. Like, I have still not stopped thinking about it. Definitely one of the best thrillers I've ever read, if not the best. Like, it was so good. It's about these 2 teachers who are married, Eve and Nate, and there's this one student, Addie, who attends Caseham High School, where Eve and Nate teach. And last year there was like this scandal involving a student-teacher affair, and like Addie is kind of like the main focus of that whole thing, and everyone kind of thinks she can't be trusted, but nobody really knows what she's actually hiding. And oh, this book was so crazy. Like, you need to read it. If you like thrillers, like, this is one of the best ones I've read. Frida McFadden is just like one of the best thriller authors ever. Like, all her books are just so good. I haven't read too many of them, but this one was so good, so I highly recommend. But yeah, those are all of the books that I read in March 2024. It was a very good month of reads. It was very exciting to finally read so many of these books that I've been wanting to read for so long. But I did start like a ton of new series, so I'm gonna have to like somehow try to finish all those, which is a little bit stressful, but I'll do it. I promise it'll be okay. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I can't wait for April, all the books I'm gonna read. There's so many new books coming out in April that I can't wait to read, but I just know I'm not gonna be able to read them probably for months because, like I said, I don't buy books and I don't have like Kindle Unlimited. So the only way I can get them is through my library, or like through like the Kindle regular books that I take out through my library like thing or whatever. And I feel like people are gonna just like be requesting them so much that it's gonna take me forever to actually get them to read. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.